We're subject to a world of suffering and pain because we're always dividing and comparing and judging and trying to race to the top at whatever expense of pushing someone else down. That's not what it's about. Hey, beautiful. Welcome to Naturally Empowered Living, your safe space to guiding you on your unapologetic self-awakening journey. This is your weekly sanctuary for waking up from autopilot and transforming the way you approach life through the power of meditation, energetics, and root cause therapy. It is my mission to help you heal unprocessed emotions and release stuck energies by alchemizing your struggle cycles into opportunities for deep self-love, awareness, trust, and connection, to return to your innate essence of being, stepping back into your energy of alignment. Because here, we honor all parts of ourselves, the messy and the magic, the shadows and the light, embodying all parts that make you, you. So if you are ready to get to the root of cultivating real change, get cozy, grab your journal and maybe favorite crystals, and let's discover our power within together. What is up, Naturally Empowered Living community? How are you? So thankful that you're here. So excited to dive into another wonderful conversation. It is a solo episode today, and something that I've had this knowing for a long time. And I don't know if you could relate to anything or like relate to this feeling, but it's like you have this knowing, but sometimes it's hard to get out in words. And I'm going to start with a story because I feel that this download that I had come in, it was just like, oh, okay, this is it. This is it. So I had a conversation with my son the other day, just like about the struggles that he was going through, the behaviors that he was getting, like reprimanded for or talked to about, and the bullies that he said that he was like encountering and facing, and just actions that he was taking because of having strong emotions. And like, he's a big feeler. He's very sensitive, and he's a boy. He's 6 years old. So he's learning. He's also like, insert him in just society and not trying to bring masculine, feminine in, but there's sometimes stereotypes of how a boy should be, and this is how girls are, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, he's very sensitive and he has big emotions. And like any child, they have to learn. I could even say every adult, like we have to learn how to regulate our system, how to regulate and respond to our emotions. And I forget the exact situation that we were talking about, but again, like he's 6, okay? So this is like a parenting moment. He was having a very hard time in the backseat. We were driving, and I used to understand when people would make comments like, oh, you're a kid, you don't understand how good you have it. Or, like something along those lines of like, oh, you're just a kid, like just wait till you get older and then you'll really understand what problems are. But it's like, but now I have to like disagree to the fullest, because I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent here, but it's like, I feel like all that says to a child who is expressing feelings and doesn't know how to express them. So there might be like, there's a disconnect somewhere, right? And it might be like a communication disconnect of not being able to communicate how they're feeling, and then it's not being recepted how they want it to be to said individual or caretaker or parent or whoever it might be. So it might be giving off this vibe of like, I'm alone in my feelings. I don't know how to help myself, and neither do the people that I look up to or that I'm asking, right? So it's like, even kids, like, yes, big picture of life, they do not have the same quote unquote problems as adults have, because they don't have the chores or the bills or the careers or just the challenges that adults face. However, they still have challenges, right? And what is this feeling of anger that I'm having? And it takes over my body, and I don't know how to control it, but I get yelled at. So I don't know how to control this anger, and I get yelled at. So this puts me into more of a survival mode, because it's like, I don't know what to do, but I'm being triggered to be put into survival mode. Or kids might feel like, my son has actually told me that before. He's told me like, I don't know how to control it when I like have these spells. Like once we get to that settled down point, and then we talk about, whatever outburst or whatever it was, he's like, I don't have control over my body sometimes. And it's true. Dr. Becky Kennedy, oh my gosh, her book I will suggest over and over and over again. It's called Good Inside. It is probably like I don't want to say the only parenting book I'll ever read, because I have another one on in the works. I think it's called Sibling Rivalry. But she just says it perfectly. Like, she describes it so simply in terms of, yes, the prefrontal cortex of children it's not fully developed, right? I'm sure a lot of you, if you've been on the show, I know I've mentioned that before. It's not fully developed until you're in your 20s. So when someone's put into like that fight or flight situation, especially if you're younger, you are put into survival mode. So of course you're going to be kicking, hitting, screaming because you don't know how to react to said feeling that is putting your body into survival mode. So my son, that is an actual example that my son has told me before, is I don't feel like I have control over my body. And Good Inside, that Good Inside book by Dr. Becky Kennedy, she talks about that. And it's just like, whoa, that correlation was like complete, like synchronistic, because he doesn't know what the book says, right? But also like another challenge that kids might be facing is like, who are my friends? How do I act? How do I fit into society? How do I fit into a friend group? How do I handle conflict? How do I handle just my emotions in general? So kids are learning how to live in a world that is so quick to condition and control, where we often lack the unity piece, the oneness, that kids are still human, right? So I do want to wrap this discussion with children because this is not what this episode is about. But my point here is that children like indeed have challenges and struggles, and being a parent is so not easy because we have our own triggers, we have our own reactions. I have learned how to reparent myself in a sense, and like build that emotional resilience and that intelligence. Like, I am a completely different responder in quote unquote like tantrums and things that I was in the past. I was so much more reactive in the past because, I mean, this work has done wonders, but just having that awareness, right? So anyway, okay. Of course, kids have their challenges and their struggles, but in a different capacity than adults. Absolutely. So it comes down to how we are modeling to them and how we are raising them. That is what is going to like help them be active members of society. It's going to build that well-being. It's going to build that emotional intelligence, resilience as adults, right? So teaching emotional intelligence, resilience, connection with themselves and those around them, showing them what they have or what feelings that they have aren't bad. However, the actions that you do because of those emotions, that's what we need to focus on or maybe redirect sometimes. But just to show them like you aren't alone. To give them space, just like adults. I was gonna say just like humans, just like adults, they need space. So circling back to this conversation that I had with Jace as he was going through this hard time, and I wish that I can remember what we were actually talking about, but I feel like I always come back to the same concept. Like, it's so hard to teach like these life skills because there are so many layers. Like what I just said, your emotions are okay to have. That's valid. But it's the actions that you take because of those emotions. Like, there's just so many layers, right? So like if you get angry or if someone calls you a name, you can't hit them. You could be angry, but don't disrespect them. Like, it's just like there's so many rules, let's say, right? Or like so many little concepts. So I'm always like, how can I simplify this? How can I simplify this? And I remember we were in the backseat of the truck, or he was in the backseat of the truck, and we were just talking through this. And it just came to me like this download, like light bulb moment, like something so profound that I feel, at least, is so profound. In my opinion, it simplifies everything in life. Every concept, every decision, it comes down to this one phrase. Every choice you make can come from a place of love or a place of fear. I know why he was mad, even though I can't remember in this moment the exact situation, but I always know, like, I know why he's mad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be mad. My youngest, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel these feelings inside, right? I understand the frustration. But I also, the actions afterwards, I could sense the mentality around it was coming from a place of fear, survival, negativity, like the name blaming, or the pointing of the fingers, the blaming. And it comes back to this one phrase. Every choice we make can come from a place of love or a place of fear. Now, I talk to my children about deep concepts all the time. And I know they love it. Like, he sat in the back seat, like we were quiet after that for a while. And I see, like, you don't see the fruit or the fruit of the labor right away, right? But there's just profound shifts. That one time when he or she, either one of my children, like when they have that moment of just profound communication or expression of their needs, coming from a place of love or just connection with someone else or understanding of someone else, like the littlest things that come from this centered, aligned place. It's like, oh, okay, like they're getting it, but it's hard being a kid. Like it's hard being a human, right? So they're also kids, right? Just like we are also humans. We are always learning, we are growing, and those little bodies just develop and morph and mature so quickly that they typically, like, the capacity is just so much all the time. And I feel it's so easy to forget sometimes, like, that they are not just kids. Like, it's easy to forget sometimes that, one, they're still human, and two, they're just kids and they're not fully developed yet. I mean, kids harness capabilities that, like, adults can't even have, right? Like, they have the potential to have this emotional development intelligence that some adults don't even have, right? And if you want to get, like, spiritual here, like, the veil is so thin with kids. Yeah, okay, we come to this human life with amnesia and we forget, what our souls are, or like that the truth of who we are is what that is, and then here we are thrown into this human experience. But I, like, 1000% believe that kids are so much more innately attuned to their inner wisdom than adults, because, like, they're not tainted yet. Like, they don't have the external conditioning, they don't have the control piece yet, right? And, like, parents, for probably 9 times out of 10, like, our intentions are always in the right place, right? But there's so many layers. There's so many layers because, like I said earlier, we have our own triggers, and, like, we do have the stressors. Like, we have to get out the door to go to set appointment or meeting. And I'm sorry, like, I need to put your shoes on right now, even though, like, you don't want to. Like, little things like that. I get it. So yes, the intentions of the majority of parents is to instill respect and kindness in kids. However, I feel a missing link sometimes is validating the emotions behind the behaviors in the first place. Oh, okay. I was not anticipating that much of an intro story, but this is the direction of where we're going in this conversation today. Every choice you make can come from a place of love or a place of fear. Now let's, like, dissect this a little bit. Let's come back to our reality now, right? I know kids listen to this episode, but maybe you're a parent, right? Maybe you can relate to anything that I just said. But let's bring ourselves now to our present life, okay? What do people do normally when they're in fear, when they're fearful? They might be craving feelings of safety or security. They want certainty, right? Maybe judgments make them feel better, possibly about themselves. So they cast judgments on other people they're pulling, for that sense of safety and security within themselves. Or they're trying to please and get people's approval at whatever expense it takes because they want that certainty of someone's approval. Or thinking of, like, the ego of the average person, someone that might be insecure, they want that approval from somebody else or from everybody else, rather than living from their heart and their truth, from a space of love and authenticity to themselves. They're living in fear and they're choosing fear, repeating that cycle. It's just like any sort of sabotaging habit cycle, right? It's like we want to make the change, but we keep choosing the same things. And I don't want to bring this into any sort of, like, political debate by any means, but speaking towards an obvious divide here that there is in many spaces of the world. I feel that there is more fear is being stoked within, like, the collective, because so much awakening is coming of this harsh reality, right? That our planet is being run by so much fear with not so much good intention. Like, people are awakening to this reality. And when we forget that all is one, right? Like, we are one, the oneness of it all. We're subject to a world of suffering and pain because we're always dividing and comparing and judging and trying to race to the top at whatever expense of pushing someone else down. That's not what it's about. So until we remember again that we are all one, all is one, When we start to come back to our space in our center, in our heart, that love is the answer. Waking up to that realization is this catalyst for change. And in my opinion, I feel like it's this fear-based negative polarity that we have on our whole, planet that's forcing this evolution, this beautiful evolution of waking up, because the negative polarity is getting more desperate for power. They're getting desperate for power, and they're seeing this awakening happening, and they're like, oh my gosh, how do we take these people over? How do we gain control? It's like a sinking ship, right? You're going to pull down anything that's not sinking, because you're going to either try to get up, or you're like, if I'm going down, you're coming with me. Like whatever that mentality is. So how do we take these people over before they wake up too much to where it's too late? And then we can't control them anymore. So we're seeing this desperation from this negative polarity of the planet, which is waking people up even more. And that's like the other side of that cycle that I was just sharing. Like when you're stuck in that fear-based cycle, you keep going for more because you're kind of that sinking ship, if you will, like pulling at anything, and you're repeating that fear-based cycle. But what I just said here is like, that's also waking people up even more, because we're waking up to this desperation. And that cycle is also continuing. So coming back to this quote of like, every choice you make can be made in love or made in fear. Think about that in everything you do. In love, in terms of, compassion, a non-judgmental grace. It's not like physical love, right? It's just coming from this place of openness, acceptance, honoring. So think of this as a ripple effect also. Like every decision, every choice you make, what if we made it from a space of love, made it from a space from our heart? Now, before you think like, I'm just one person, or the government is this, or my neighbor is that, and the power isn't in my hands, think of this for a minute. You, your love, your light creates a ripple, and we are all connected. And your love radiates. It radiates out. Your energy radiates out. Let it be from love or from fear. Your energy is radiating out of you at all times, right? So if you are making heart-centered choices, if you are making choices made out of love rather than fear, it is radiating out to your family, to your neighbor, to your city, to the world. And bringing these layers that I was talking about earlier with parenting, this doesn't mean that we're not going to have hard times or find ourselves, in this fear-based state or in this desperation or feel down in the dumps. We're not bypassing the experiences of life. However, with this approach, with this intention, with this awareness leading from a place of love, that perspective shift is everything. So I just wanted to note that little segue. So by choosing love over fear and not judging, your kids are going to see that, and they're going to lead by example. Your spouse, your friends, your extended family, your neighbors. This ripple is going to start to reach the collective. And the more and more that we are leading from the heart, the more it radiates out. And it will eventually become less cool to be judgy. It's going to not be cool to be the bully anymore. Okay? It's all a spectrum. The more we evolve, the more we teeter on that edge of the scale of love, the scale is gonna like become unbalanced. Like, I hope you can picture what I'm trying to say here. We're gonna evolve more, the easier it's gonna be for the rest of us to evolve, because that's the majority. So we're all holding hands. We're all holding hands. We are all one. And I want to give you an example, like how to gauge yourself. Like, am I coming from a space of love? Like, how do I know that it's compounding, right? So here's an example. You might be talking to someone, out and about or whatever, and, everyone's doing their own thing, and you're having this conversation, and all of a sudden, like, you just have this inner knowing, like something that they're saying, or maybe they're trying to like get in this gossip mode, and you're like, you're just not feeling it. But it goes another layer deeper, and you almost have this deeper level of awareness, and you're kind of like, I know where they're coming from. They're saying something, and I don't necessarily agree with the gossip or whatever they're saying, but they're saying this possibly to get my approval because maybe they feel insecure, or maybe they're just trying to fit in, or maybe you start to see things on a different level. And it's not like analytical at all. You're not judging them. It's just coming from a place of like, of openness and acceptance of this person. And something also to note, like, we are all on our own journey, and this would be a completely different episode if we wanted to dive into like helping people awaken and getting to that space of love themselves. However, this episode is solely, we're focusing on our choices ourselves. So I'm going to end that example with just saying, like, a sign of true discernment for yourself is coming from a place of compassion and love and understanding for everyone in any and every circumstance. Another example, let's say you did engage in this gossipy conversation. It's funny because like you can't get away with some shit anymore, like integrity wise, if and when you're coming from this heart-centered space. So even like the slightest deviation from your integrity, you'll be up all night with guilt, or it'll be like eating you alive. When 3 years ago you'd tell a little white lie and you wouldn't even remember it to this day. But then the more that you awaken, the more that you come from this heart-centered space and you deviate from that, because it will still happen, that's like a sign, a knowing of like, oh, okay, like it's having that awareness piece also, and holding your integrity and staying true to your integrity no matter what. So I'm giving you, this episode is your invitation. This is your choosing ground. This episode is your choosing ground. If you're listening to this podcast right now, your soul, you came here, you were led here to listen to this episode, and now this is your choosing ground. I want to leave you with this question. Will you be more aware of when you are choosing love versus choosing a fear response? In all aspects of life, let that sink in with you. Let that voice in your head. The next time you're held with a tough decision, or you are in a predicament where someone's talking about something that your gut's like, we probably shouldn't be talking about this, or you have this altercation or whatever it might be, you can choose love or you can choose fear, even with yourself. I can choose love and compassion when I see myself in the mirror, or I can choose fear and continue to go down the same rabbit hole spirals that I'm used to doing. I hope that question, simple, anything in life, you can respond in love or respond in fear. Now, I want to leave you with this. I would love to hear from you. I want to know what you want to hear on this show. Anything pertaining to spiritual awakenings, energetics, meditation, root cause therapy, specific examples of, a specific struggle that you're dealing with right now in your life, or a desire that you have and you can't seem to reach it. Anything that you want to hear on this show, we can go as deep as you want. Grab the form. It's just a quick Google form. You could fill it out. It's completely anonymous, and you tell me what you want to hear on the show. I would love to talk about it. So thank you so much. Head to the link in the show notes or the description of this show, and I will be waiting to hear from you. Until next week, as always, simply be you. You have everything inside of you to learn your energy of alignment and be unapologetic in who you are. I'm sending my love and so much light.
Did you find this episode free or empowering? Please read my review. Tickle, boop.
Thank you for spending this sacred time with me on Naturally Empowered Living. If this episode brought you closer to stepping into your energy of alignment, I'd love for you to leave a written review and share how this show has supported your journey. Your feedback truly lights me up and helps others find the space of transformation. And sharing it with someone who might need it spreads the ripple of healing even further. Be sure to check the show notes for ways to connect with me and explore personalized healing sessions and mentorships to deepen your self-awakening journey. Thank you. I appreciate all you are and all you do.